through.
Good morning again. I just wanted to go ahead and give you a little bit more detail on the HR5 Equality Act, or as I'm calling it, the Inequality Act, and we'll be able to send information to you, but you may be asking, what can I do in addition to praying? Praying is helpful and it's powerful, but what can we do in addition to that? Several things actually, or a handful of things. One of it is to understand more what the Equality Act is about. And just to give you an overview, Pastor Steve would not have been able to give us the sermon on Genesis that he's been giving us for the last few weeks. That would go totally against this act. If he were to do that, he would lose his job. The church would lose its tax-exempt status. There are other things going against not only churches, but businesses, against individuals, that they will not be able to do business with anybody, that won't be able to do business with banks, that they won't be able to send kids to college, just a lot of different things going on. And it's detailed in some of the information that we could go ahead and get to you about the bill. The second thing is that not only is the church going to be impacted, but our families, especially women and children, are going to be so impacted that they are taking away everything, every sense of safety and security for women in this country. If you happen to be in a situation where you've come out of an abusive relationship and you're in a shelter with the woman, the mother, and her kids, they can a man cannot be stopped going in if he says, today I feel like I'm a woman. He can go in there and abuse and violate any of the women in there. And that's happening now that people are sneaking in some of these cities that are allowing this already, but they're trying to make this nationwide. The second thing is that we've been seeing on the news that sports, that a lot of the female athletes in high school and college are being impacted in their sports on their chances to get scholarships or their chances to get a job in professional sports, because we now see that men who decide they are going to identify as a woman, that they will be able to compete with them. And because men physiologically are built differently than women, they're going to win basically every time. But what can we do? The main thing is, what can we do besides pray? And we may think, well, if I call my senator, that's not going to do any good. I will tell you that the average is that when there's an initiative out there or a bill out there, that maybe 10, 20, 30 people call their senators and say that they're for something or against something. And that's all it is. And if 30, 40, 50 makes an impact, what do you think 100,000 people calling their senators might do? And we are a state of, what do we have, 22, 23 million at least people in this state, that if we had 100,000 people contact our senators, that would have a huge impact. So I wanted to touch a little bit on what we can do when calling the senators. We can send you a list if you don't know how to contact. In our state would be Senator Rubio and Senator Scott, that we can send you a link on how to contact your senator. It'll give you not only their Washington, D.C. direct phone number, it will also give you their, there's an office in Orlando, it'll be the closest office. There is a staff office here in Orlando also. When you call in, most of the time it's going to be a voice message that you're going to have to leave, that you won't talk to an actual person. And when you give the voice message when you call in, you want to go ahead and leave your name, your city that you live in, or zip code that you live in, so that they know that you are a constituent. You want to encourage them, strongly encourage them, that if they haven't decided yet, that they need to vote against HR5, and that you would be willing to talk to them directly to tell them why it is so important that they vote against it. Also, ask them to go ahead and post on their website. Neither one yet, as of last night, has on their website where they're taking a stand on this. So that's the other option, that we would like to get them to put it out and take a stand and put it on their website. And thirdly, we want to ask them to reach across to somebody, a member of the other side, the more liberal side of the Senate, and just have them talk to a couple of senators to pull them over and be in agreement with them also. Secondarily, when we do that, we can send by phone call. We can also send on their links. You can send an email on their links and fill out the information and send that to them also. And thirdly, if you want to handwrite a letter, there's an address that you can mail it to DC or mail it to any of their offices in the state of Florida. All of those things would be a good thing to do. And that may take, on the phone calls, it may take you by getting through the switchboards and pushing 1 or 4 or whatever you need to push. It may take you about, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes to make the phone call, but then maybe a little bit more time to send an email or write a letter. Additionally, what we want to do is we have contacts in our emails and in our text, Facebook and everything. We want to share this message with other people that we have contacts across the country, because they need to be contacting their senators in other states. Even if they are not a conservative state, their senators are not conservative, some of those states, if there's enough pressure put on them, they will just go ahead and pull back and not vote for the act. And then finally, what I'm asking people to do is to go ahead and not just reach out to people of faith. We would love to have other churches involved, but not just to reach out to people of faith, but the whole secular world, because this is affecting not just churches and not just our beliefs and not just where we stand with God. We know that Congress has already said in the House, when one of our reps in Florida, Representative Stubbe, said that this bill goes against God's word, and the chairman, Nadler, said there's no room for God in the House, in Congress. So we know where their position is. So we need to do everything we can to encourage people across the board, across this nation, to go ahead and just do something. Take the time. Take us a couple hours over the next week and get this done, because it will be coming to the floor pretty soon for a vote. Thank you.